G'day, Lakeside. Dave Daniels here. Excited to chat a little bit about this topic of goodness with you. I heard a story recently about a family that inherited a farm that had been in their family for generations, for several generations. And so the family moved to the farm and they loved it. But they noticed after a few months, they started feeling a little bit ill, a little sick, energy kind of dropping. And so they decided to do a test on the water, and they found that the water in their well was actually contaminated, and it was causing them the kind of the lethargy and the sickness. And so they decided, hey, you know what, we need to build a new well. And so they found, unfortunately, all the way across their property, about a quarter of a mile, but they found another water source to dig the well to. And so they did. The water was fresh, no more sickness. But it was a little bit tougher to get to. It wasn't quite as convenient. So they had to walk, like I say, a quarter mile. The path was a little bit narrow. There was a hill they had to climb over. And so they found on some days when they were in a rush or just not feeling it, they would still kind of dip into that old water. And so finally they had a family meeting and said, you know what, we're going to make a pact. We're only going to the new well. And when we're struggling, we'll pull together and go there. And so from that point on, they stayed with the good water source and reaped the benefits of it. Now the reason I share that story with you is I don't know if you can relate at all, but going to the source, what source we go to is really significant, especially in my life when I look relationally or even spiritually in my walk with the Lord. That there's two choices. There's a good well and a well that's contaminated, and that the well that's contaminated is my flesh kind of doing things my own way for myself, and then of course God is the good source and the pure water. So I want to share a verse with you actually out of Matthew 12:35, and it says this: a good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasures brings forth evil things. Let me read that one more time. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasures brings forth evil things. So kind of that age-old battle of good and evil. But I could really relate, I hope you can too, of making that decision, even though it may take a little bit more discipline, be a little more difficult to get to, but go to the source, the good source, the pure source, the Word of God. God bless.